Hey guys, welcome to the Live, Live, Play podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Kinsella, and today I have the honour of having Ireland's fittest female, Emma McQuaid, with us. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Live, Live, Play podcast.
So, firstly, Emma, you've been down with us doing a workshop, and again, thank you for coming down. Our guys took a lot away from it, and then we had guys from around the country coming down, and like James and stuff like that, who are like kind of decent athletes on the Irish circuit, and and even he was saying that like you always learn from someone that is just the next level up from you, and there's always a lot to take away. So, from our novice members to someone that actively competes in an RX division, it was pretty good to get the quick feedback, and I'll get more over the next few days from them. How was it for you just coaching workshops? Do you like coaching them and stuff like that? Obviously you don't mind them because you do them, but how did you find today?
No, like I absolutely love doing workshops. I started doing them probably about 3 years ago. It was just something to have on the side from like, obviously I just PT regular people daily, so I'm not really involved in CrossFit that much, so I was kind of like, frick, this could be actually a good way to get involved with CrossFit a wee bit more, and then I've done like obviously quite a few over this last 3 years, and then just like about a year ago I started programming a couple of the guys in CrossFit Berserk, and then they were just like, here, you should actually maybe program for people, and I was like, nah, I don't really think I'm good enough, and they were like, okay, well sure, let's do a year, see how we go. And we kind of used Eamon Kelly as like a dummy for a year, and he got his best ever finish last year in the Open, which was actually, it was really good to see, obviously firsthand, like off a year coaching me, a year of me coaching him, and like he's probably one of like the first CrossFitters. Like he's doing CrossFit for 10 years, so it's quite nice to see him improve, in so much in 1 year. So then I was like, right, I actually think like doing more of these workshops is going to benefit so many more people. So I really enjoy just like giving the knowledge, like the pros and cons, what I've learned, and then probably my failures as well, and like maybe just don't do that. So it's like it's sharing both sides of the story to people, like just to try and help them get better with their journey.
And so going from like stepping into that, and as you said, you weren't sure if it was what you should be doing, like programming. How have you found the evolution over the year of programming from probably starting it to what you see now when you're looking at the athletes? How has that changed for you? Even with Eamon, how has it changed what you're designing for him?
Yeah, like it's the same with everything. Like even like with your class programming, you probably look back at it, whenever you first started, and you're like, what was I programming? Like every year it always evolves, and it's just evolving with it, and like keep evolving with the sport. And I think the biggest thing is like just be open-minded. There's no one way, there's no right way, and there's no wrong way. So like obviously my coach is James Jousey. I
met James once. He had to go up my hips. I think it was a tough hour for him.
So like I quite like his approach to training. So we kind of like break CrossFit down a wee bit more, and I've kind of brought that style of coaching into how I program. But I also I keep an eye, like I love Phil Heskett's prepared programming, like he's hardcore CrossFit. So like I love like some of his like conditioning pieces and stuff like that. So I would like take ideas as well from other coaches. So like, and I'm always listening the different podcasts, and you're always keeping an eye on different strength and conditioning, like vlogs, YouTube videos and stuff like that there, because and the plyometric, I love watching like plyometric training nowadays, like American footballers, some of their speed training is just like absolutely amazing, and within CrossFit I don't think we do enough twisting and turning, so it's all that up and down, so it's quite good just to add that side of things in. Like my guys were like, why are we doing these skiers, like jumping side to side, and but I was like, why not?
And eventually, because as CrossFit evolves, you see every year they add new stuff.
Yeah.
And then athletes get...
Yeah, well, like the zigzag race at the games, like if you can't turn from the side to explode off, and I'm like, well, this is why we're doing the skiers, like, because it goes from the games down, like every competition. So like the games had the ruck, how many times has the ruck featured? You know, even like if you look at like Filthy 150, you know, like they're using different exercises now. Like it all comes from the games down, so it's only a matter of time before Irish Fitness Championship uses the zigzag.
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy setup. It's like 3 cones per athlete. So stuff like that there is just trying to be creative all the time and keep with the times.
Yeah. And you are, obviously, we were just talking about coaching and stuff like that, but you're also the athlete.
Yeah.
All right? And you are going back to the games. How was your first games experience, like being there? Like, I know you've trained with a lot of like top athletes, and anyway, going at that, but just being at the games itself, like being on that field or on the floor, kind of how was like your first instinct when you walked on? Like, how was that for you?
Yeah, like it was just so surreal. That's what I kind of said. I probably didn't like take it all in the first year
Because we're so much like so it's happening, but you're not really getting to enjoy it, kind of thing.
Yeah, so like I do really look forward to going back to this year. I think like the first year it was just like, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
I'm actually here. You know, because obviously I've wanted it for so long and just missed out so many times, and so probably just didn't take it all in. But obviously like it was just absolutely amazing being out on the floor for the first time, being in the Coliseum and stuff like that there. So it was awesome. And
as you said, you're going back this year. Obviously, with what's going on now, your comp, the
West Coast
Classic's been postponed and all of that. And when we spoke about this just briefly off camera, but that your training's changed slightly, but like not, you're still kind of just training away, working yourself towards the games. And what is obviously the goal? Obviously, the goal of every competition is to place well.
Yeah.
But how do you feel this year heading to the games versus last year heading to the games?
It's kind of one of those things, you don't really know where you're at till you get there. Like, I don't really know. Like, I've obviously West Coast Classic announced 2 workouts prior to the event. So it was Thursday morning. I went and tested both workouts with a couple of the guys down across up Zurich. And like the first one was the regional snatch ladder from 2016, so it was really, really good to like obviously beat my 2016 time. I know people say like, oh, you should beat it because it's 4 years later, but like 10-8-6-4-2 squat snatch starting at 60 kilos ending at 80 kilos, like no matter what, that's gonna humble you. So like I have had like a terrible wrist injury for this past 2 years, so snatching sometimes just doesn't
feel good.
I can't do it. So I haven't really snatched much from Filthy 150, so like that 80 kilo bar was like heavy. And the 60 kilo bar was heavy, to be fair. So to PB that after this past like on and off for 2 years a wrist injury was absolutely amazing, and like I was so excited. So like and then like I literally phoned my coach as the 80 kilo bar touched the floor. I was like, oh my god, like I finished it. You know, and I was just like, I was so excited because I was like on the floor, like you've just got this like superpower. Like to do it in training is okay, but I know I perform so much better on the floor. And I was just like, I think we agreed if I beat my time, I was like, I'm going sub 8 on the day. I was like, you wait and see. And he was like, right, let's put a bet on it. And I was like, right, I was like, I said I had to program him for a full day, and he had to do it. So if I didn't beat sub 8, so we put a bet on. It was quite funny. And then obviously we did the games. The second workout was the games legless rope climb workout, which in the past legless rope climbs in workouts destroy me. Every year at regionals that was generally my worst place finish. So that was really cool like, because obviously you're only comparing against the game scores that
Yeah.
you had, but like I was a minute and a half faster than anyone at the games that year.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, so excited to hit this workout.
Yeah.
And like we only had like 20 minutes rest between the snatch ladder and that. So
that's
I was
good, like,
yeah.
it's just your recovery time and then being able
Yeah.
to go and then PB again is
So, like,
pretty impressive.
on the day I was like, and again, like I was messaging Joyce, I was like, yes, we've got this. You know,
Yeah.
not that I was going to go and win at West Coast Classic,
You were
but
confident
I was,
going into what you had to do.
I was confident, like feeling like I'm going to go here and perform. And obviously, like we were just using West Coast as a training weekend. We were not peaking, we were not even tapering or anything. So to feel good, like sort of like 9 days out from competition, I was just starting to get really excited. But we're going to just keep the momentum going. As I chatted about earlier, the only change will be we'll not be doing a WOD every day because I don't need to do a WOD every day now. So we'll just drop the WOD and just keep the skill, keep the strength, keep the cardio going, and then hopefully, all being well, readdress at Madrid. That's potentially hopefully the next one. Kind of see where competition practice lies there, and then we'll have 8 weeks to build for the games. So.
Cool. And just because I know we're going to keep this podcast short, so I just got like one or two more. I watched you on an interview on RTE, and I've heard it been said before, but I think you articulated it better, and I'd like you to kind of, for anyone never seen it, so you can check it RTE. But when someone asked you, I think one of the presenters asked you how you become the fittest, and you said you have to be able to hurt more than the other person. And I've never heard it said like that. I was like, you have to be faster, and you have to be stronger, you have to be just built better. And it's like, no, you have to be able to hurt more. And to me, because I like nowhere near a high level, but I know what hurting feels like when you do a horrible workout and you're on the floor and you're rolling around and you're like questioning life. So how do you train your brain or your mind, or how have you learned to just suffer, which is pretty much what it is? Been able to just keep going, like your open workout, that snatch and burpee workout. I watched that, I tried that, and I was like, I'm gonna be pretty, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna want to do this. I died so badly, it was horrendous. But yeah, so for how to, like when you go to a workout and you know it's just going to be like, what, because most people go, I'm going to start peeling back now because I'm done, but you're keep going. Like, how does that work for you?
I think that's where, like, we chatted about in the seminar, like I probably came from the worst sporting background to be good at CrossFit in terms of mobility wise. Quad racing, you're sitting on a quad bike with boots fixed, tight ankles, tight hips, rounded shoulders, vibration through your neck for 20 years, which doesn't help your nerves. But I think it gives me a really strong mentality because you're on a quad bike that weighs 300 kilos. If you do not like keep pushing, you're gonna fall off. And you're not just gonna break a bone. You could break a bone, or like I've lost friends. So I have friends have died. So like it's actually like you can get seriously hurt.
So you have to be in.
So like you're on that quad in a 20-minute race, and you have to mentally finish that race. So it is like there's been times both of my knees have been bleeding. So it is my hands have been bleeding with blisters. So I have like I fell off in the middle of a race. One time I got concussion. Like my helmet was split in two. Like I got back on the quad and I finished. Like you know, you just have a sick mentality on the quad. Like you fall off in the first corner and you're dead last, and you've got just run over by 4 other quads, but you'll get back on the quad and you'll finish the race. You know, so
CrossFit's a bit of a breeze then for you.
It's just a different mindset. Like there's like another race before, like I was obviously like there's stones on the track. Like I remember I was bruised. Every single part of my body was bruised because I sat behind a quad for 20 minutes and I couldn't get past, and every stone from that quad hit me. So it is, I've got like 8 stitches through this eyebrow, 8 stitches through that eyebrow where a stone split me open. So it did, like, and the blood just was pissing down me. Like I came in and the quad was full of blood and everything was full of blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just finished the race. Like, so sometimes, you know, so I just think like the mentality to finish that race.
Yeah.
Like,
it was all, like
you just, I don't know, you just wanted to finish. You wanted to finish, you wanted to finish well.
Yeah.
And then you go and do your CrossFit workout and you're like, well,
you just finish it.
You have to finish it.
It carries over. Yeah, no, that's
So,
that's interesting because I suppose it's a mindset that in quad racing, that's just I'm assuming a given that you get on, you got to do it, you got to finish it, and if you don't, you could seriously hurt yourself. So it's in your best interest to hold on tight and do everything you have to do to get to the end.
Well, as a kid, like your mentality was, well, I want to finish this race because I really want to impress. Like you want to impress your mum and dad, always as a child. Like that, they're your heroes. So. Like I started racing when I was 6 and like my dad laughed. I was in the E final for Emma. So A, B, C, D, E, so like it was quite far down. You know, so then like that was like a rolling joke, like in my first couple of races, like I was in the E for Emma. And then obviously like you started to chip away and you started getting into the B final and then you were finally in the A final. And then you were just like, you know, Dad was like, I'll get you a new set of tires if you finish here. Okay. And I was like, ooh, this is cool. I'll get you new stickers for your quad if you finish here. And then I was like, here. I'm starting to get here prizes, you know. So then it was like, so then like, you know, after a year or so in the quad, you know, Dad would have said, I'll get you some new kit. And like, who doesn't want new gear?
Yeah, exactly,
you know, it's the same as CrossFit. If you get new shoes, it's like, oh yeah. So like stuff like that there. So I was like, I wanna do well because like my dad's buzzing here. Like, and you can see all the work that your family's putting into the sport. So yeah, I think like it all just transfers over. You want to do well, and you want to kind of impress people as well. So like, so it was
good. I like the. Obviously there's an incentive and I do believe like sport is competitive, and I think there is I know people say inclusivity and all that, and it's a whole different conversation, but I like the idea that it's like just you chipped away, you kept moving, and then there was because there was a drive to like, well, you're going to get some new kit. I said, well, I'm going to work a little bit harder because you're going to get a little bit more kit, and that's human nature, I suppose, at a point. So yeah, your mental resolve was built over years, and I suppose it's something that I think is kind of lost in the generation. I think a lot of people should, like in sports, should be not aggressively pushed, but pushed to the point where they have to suffer a little bit so they learn, because we only learn from suffering a little. We only get better by stressing the body and mentally get stronger because we kind of go through a stressed element in our life. Something bad happened, or like we had adversity, and then we had to get over that and get through that, and it makes you a stronger person. And I think that's a great takeaway for anyone listening to this, and it's kind of what we teach our kids. And I'll definitely let this be a kid-friendly show on YouTube so they can listen to it, because some of our shows can't be. They're not kid-friendly. But Emma, firstly, where can people, for someone that doesn't know of you, where can they find you? Because I'm sure most people know of you in the CrossFit community. I hope so. But like, what can we put your link for Instagram and stuff on the show notes? Yep. What's your handle?
McQuaid175.
Okay, so we'll put that in the show notes, guys. Thank you for being on the show. Thank you. Guys, if you're listening, please like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you'd like us to talk about anything, or if you want to find out what Emma's doing and support her going to the CrossFit Games this year. Don't forget to check out her Instagram and give her a follow. And we are done.
You're listening to the Live, Lift, Play podcast.